Good morning. I wasn't hired to dance, so sorry for that little intro. Welcome, also on behalf of me, but also the whole team, the AMS-IX team. Welcome to our members, our customers, our partners, our sponsors, also to the left and to the right of me, the right and the left of you. Without all of you, this would not be possible. And I think many of us are grateful to be here again in person and be able to do this live and have this interaction live rather than through a screen. I know I am. Serge already touched on it. Thank you, Serge, for that introduction. Engaging with existing partners' relations is relatively easy to do through a screen, right? You know each other, you have that contact, you have had that interaction before. So doing something on a phone or a screen, that's okay. Trying to engage with new partners is very, very difficult online. I'm not sure about you, but I'm getting spammed left, right, and center through LinkedIn or any channel of people wanting to do new things with us. I could have had 1 million developers, 15,000 leads a day, all of these things, right? I always decline them. And I think the same goes for you. So trying to build something new is very difficult in times of lockdown and not being able to travel. So thank you for taking the effort for coming here. Thank you for taking the effort out of your schedule and use your valuable time to come listen to us, engage with us, and hopefully have a great day. Again, Serge touched on a number of things that we did in the 4 years already. That I'm with this fantastic organization. And one of the things we did is we started to think about, what are we? In Dutch we would say, waar zijn wij van? What do we do? The Internet Exchange has been around for 30 years. It's been a very instrumental piece to building the internet and creating, good, reliable, low latency connectivity. But the world is changing, and the world is changing rapidly. We see a lot of consolidation happening. We see a lot of new technologies coming about. We see all kinds of partners in the ecosystem starting to shift their positioning. So we also thought, we're going to use this time for a little bit of reflection to decide, what are we of? What are we doing as an internet exchange? And specifically, what are we doing as AMS-IX? So we started on this venture to write a compelling story, or our story. What is the story of AMS-IX? And I want to take you through it in the next couple of minutes. So, first of all, our mission has been, for a long time, and we've already updated this a couple of years ago, is we want to build a better society by building a better internet. And that may be a bit out there as a statement, building a better society. Can we actually, as AMS-IX, relatively small organization, although a big global brand, and we think we can. Because we think the internet may be the best invention ever, right? Being able to communicate with others on the other side of the world within a split second, being able to share information quickly, it's fantastic. It's never been done in human history before. I like history, and when you think of some of the things had to happen for news to travel, it was incredible, right? All of you know the term the marathon, running a marathon. That's just an example, right? Somebody had to run 40 kilometers to bring some news across. That took them a couple of hours, right? Today it's instantaneous. And that's what the internet has brought. However, there's also a lot of bad stuff that the internet brought. So we have all these challenges with security, with privacy, with data, and we'll talk about it at length later today. And we decided, as AMS-IX, we care. We care about the internet, and we care what the internet does, what it is, who owns it, what it stands for, what it can do. We really care, and we want to take care of it. We also want to try and help, right some of the wrongs, if that's a right way of saying it in English. So we do really care about the internet. And we try to build that into sort of 3 themes that we stand for and really want to defend and invest in. One of those themes, which is really at the core of what we do and who we are, is neutrality, but also independence. We believe that if you want to be neutral, you have to have independence. You cannot be part of a larger conglomerate or a larger type organization. That neutrality you really drive through also being independent. So neutral is really at the core of what we do. It's our DNA, and we really want to stick to it. But if I would ask you, what does neutrality mean? I don't know exactly how many people we have in the room, 100, 150. We probably get 400 different opinions, right? Because neutrality could be on the network, it could be on not prioritizing one over the other, it could be everybody having the same price, it could be a million things. So to us, neutrality is really trying to have an element of the technical, there's a technical neutrality, which you know and love, right? We don't prioritize, we don't look into the traffic, everybody's equal on the platform. But neutrality is also about who owns the internet, and how do you share data in, for example, a neutral way. So later today we'll talk about something called AMS-IX, the Amsterdam Internet Exchange. And part of it is technology again, but part of it is also how do you build this sort of data economy where you can share data, but in a neutral way, without having to own it necessarily, or without having an advantage over the other, right? Really figure out what this neutrality means. So it's really at the heart of who we are, what we do, and we want to fight for that. We want to fight for that with the Dutch government. We want to fight for that when it comes to things like European law. And again, later today, we'll present a new argumentenkaart. We did one earlier about encryption, end-to-end encryption. We presented it to the Dutch government. Today we'll present one that is about sanctions. Do we believe companies like us should be sanctioned, or we should imply sanctions when something as horrible as this war in the Ukraine is happening? Do we then believe we should block Russian customers? So that's what that argument card, debate card is about. And those are things we're doing, and we're investing in those sorts of discussions to make sure we can have a neutral, hopefully, discussion about these very important topics that touch all of us. Right? So those are some examples of what we're doing when we talk about neutrality and independence. Another thing we care about greatly is safety. Again, many aspects to safety. So it could be things like anti-DDoS, it could be other types of, again, technology-driven things, but it's also about privacy. It's also about protecting the weak. This is one of these things on the internet where, you know, I've got 3 children, 2 boys, 20, 17, little girl, she's not that little anymore, 13, right? And I want them to be safe. I want them to be safe on the internet. I want them to be able to go online, you know, and be safe, be free, and really enjoy the benefits of it, and not having to worry about, you know, am I being stalked, am I being phished, am I being whatever. Why is it that we can actually open the tab, have a glass of water, and know it's safe, or actually plug in your device in the mains and know it's not going to blow up your phone or whatever device you want to charge. But the moment I log into the internet, I need to take care of everything. Antivirus, anti-spam, anti-phishing, anti-whatever, right? Why is that? Why can't we, as an industry, figure out how we make the internet a safe place as well? We care, and we want to try and help create that. Finally, all of us should be concerned, right? There is no planet B and all these things. So yes, we also are concerned about sustainability, maybe in a slightly different way. So again, as AMS-IX, we look at when we do technology refresh, how can we do that more efficient in terms of using power? You know, it's maybe not the most popular place to be in currently, a data center, because it's also power hungry. But we're not really talking about all the applications that are actually in the data center or the customers. And we are talking about increasing digitalization. We are talking, the Dutch government is investing in AI and sharing data and quantum and all these things. Guess what? We're going to need more data centers, right? So we need to figure out how we're going to break the back of this as well. And again, as AMS-IX, you know, some of the ideas we have when we think of our innovation, can we, as sort of this switchboard, this hub of connectivity, can we figure out a way where we can help customers have, I don't know, green routes or eco routes or however we want to call it, where we can actually demonstrate that if you take this route, depending which part of the world you're from, it's actually energy efficient. And you're going to end up in a data center that is really making an effort of trying to really live up to the demand of sustainability. And don't get me wrong, right? I'm not here being negative about data centers. We probably need a lot more of them. But you know, if you're in the Netherlands and you try and build a new data center, there's a lot of opposition, and it's, you know, it's currently it's challenging. But still, everybody wakes up and going to go, I can't get onto Netflix. Oh, it's taking a bit long before my tweet is going through. Oh, it's going to be right. We all know that we're going to need more of it rather than less to continue to live that life. So we care about it, and although again we are a very small part of that whole sustainability discussion, we do invest in it, and we do try and figure out how we, as AMS-IX, leveraging the network we have and the connections we have can help be a bit greener, eco-friendly. So if you have any ideas about these things, or if you think we're out of our mind, let us know. As Serge already said, we really want to talk to you guys and figure out ways how we can do these things. So we care. We really care about how we can make a better place, how we can build a better world, leveraging the internet. And a lot of that is technology-driven, of course, right? But some of it is really about being at the table at the right time, talking to the right people, exerting our influence, being this important brand we believe we are, to actually help drive mindsets, policy, etc., to make the world a little bit of a better place. So that's what we stand for, that's what we do. How we do that, long-term strategy, during the GM this afternoon, I'll talk about it in much more detail, but the strategy is based on 3 pillars. The first pillar is innovation. And the reason why we chose innovation, or diversify, or whatever the term is you want to use for it, we cannot deny we live in a consolidating market. Data centers are getting bigger, they're consolidating, buying each other. Networks are consolidating, data is consolidating, SaaS or cloud providers are consolidating. And this little sort of, I'm not sure if you know Asterix and Obelix, that comic book, right? But this little village sort of to the northwest in France is mightily trying to resist the Roman Empire. And it feels a little bit like the internet exchange is that little village, right? There's not a lot of consolidation happening in the internet exchange. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with the fact that we have this governance structure. We have an association as a shareholder. And the association is just not interested in, dare I say, making money or selling it off. Or it's about caring and delivering value-added services. However, we do need to make money, because otherwise we can't chase these other goals. Right? So that's why we need to innovate. We need to come up with new types of services, new value add that you can use to either attack your cost model, give a better service to your customer, improve the quality of your network, or at a higher level, improve the quality of life by building a better internet. So we will innovate. Some of it will, again, be technology-driven. Some of it may be more market innovation, taking existing products but bringing it to new market segments that are not yet using a product like peering, for example. Right? So, too little time to talk about some of these initiatives, but again, AMS-IX, the Amsterdam Data Exchange, is one of them. We are engaged in the Netherlands in the healthcare sector, where again, sharing data is an important topic, and we're trying to figure out if we can help. We're part of an initiative called 2-Stick, where we're trying to figure out new routing protocols to have a bottom-up security, for example, already in the internet routing, things like that. Those are some of the initiatives we are deploying when it comes to innovation. The second pillar of our strategy is optimize. Every company always needs to optimize. In the world we live in, it's about cost, it's about price, it's about efficiency. And that's not a bad thing, but that's part of that optimized journey. The other part of the optimized journey is again about trying to create a better experience for you as our customer or our partner. So that could be you as a user, so it's an easier flow through our system. It's easier to order a product. We'll do a lot of API stuff in the near future, where it's easier to connect your system to ours and do automated provisioning and things like that. But it's also about maybe better engagement with you as customers and members. So think of maybe portals or different ways of engaging with you, and being able to pull in your knowledge, skills, feedback, and everything else to again build a better product. So we're going through our own digital transformation, as it's called nowadays, and really trying to improve the way we work, but again to free up time and space to have a better engagement with you as our community. And then finally, grow. And this is where I typically have the most discussion when I'm out and about and talking to some of you, because should we just stay in Amsterdam, or should we grow? And I want to make one thing very clear about our growth strategy. It's not growth for growth's sake. It's not planting the flag. It's not having another map with another dot to go, hey, look at us, we have another exchange out there. It's not about that. We do believe, however, that size matters. And not so much size matters because, oh, now we're this eating, consolidating company, and it's not about that at all. But if we care, And if we want to have our seat at the table, and if we want to be able to have this discussion and again exert an influence, we believe we need to have a certain size. And having that certain size, we don't know exactly what that size is, but we need to remain relevant. So we believe we need to grow in terms of organization and revenue, but also we need to protect the brand to be able to have that discussion. That's why we want to grow. Also, a large part of our growth strategy is demand-driven. We're getting phone calls almost daily where we're going to get, can you please help us set something up locally? And if you look at all the initiatives we've announced in the last 12 to 18 months, all of them have a local partnership. So none of it is, oh, here's AMS-IX, plant the flag, we're going to tell these people how to run an iX, right? It's always a partnership. We always want to work with a local partner because they know the market, they understand the language, they understand the people, right? So it's always about partnership. It's always about trying to create an element of local value to that community. So it's not necessarily about being the biggest all the time. Right? We are here, we cornered this market, but it's also historically, right, in Amsterdam. But some of the other exchanges we may open globally, there may be 15 or 20 peers. And it may be of a very high value for that particular local market. And we're okay with that. So per location, we are actually identifying what we believe success means, together with that local partner. Right? And it's not about being the biggest, the baddest, and look at us, another dot on the map. It's really about trying to help that local community improve. Will you see us sometimes in crowded markets? We just announced Singapore. Yeah, of course. Some of that will happen as well. Again, we need to make money, we run a business, and Singapore to some extent is also about, what are we going to do with Hong Kong? How is that market changing? And, what is going to happen there? So sometimes, yes, you'll find us in a crowded market. 9 out of 10 times, it's about creating that local value with that local partner, because we care. So that's us, in a nutshell. I think I'm doing okay with time. Final throw out there is, of course, thank you. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for doing business with us. Thank you for trusting us. And although it's not a formal punchline, so the marketing people may go sit on that, what is he saying now again? Right? In the world of quantity, we want to be that iX that is about quality. So I hope you enjoy our services for a lot longer, and we can enjoy your relationship for a lot longer as well. Enjoy the next 2 days. Thank you. And I'll turn to Serge to see if there's any questions maybe that I can answer.
Okay, thank you, Peter. So I just thought we'd take a quick opportunity. Are there any questions for Peter? Well, I've got it. There is a question. Can we have a microphone just over here with the gentleman?
Good morning, Peter.
Hey.
You compared the internet with the water and the electricity at home. And when I open the tap, I use the water I buy from the water company, same with the electricity. Are you, as an internet exchange, ready to own the traffic that you send?
Good question. It goes back to the neutrality piece again as well, right? And I want to be firm to say no. So it's not about us having a control over the data, because it's such a slippery slope. It's not where we want to go. There is, however, one option I could see. We're not investigating it. We're not even going there. But it may be demand-driven, right? I can imagine there would be customers that say, you know what, I don't care. If you can guarantee me that this is safe and therefore you need to create, or you need to have an element of control, if that's a demand, then we can look at how we can develop it. Is it something we think we should do? Not necessarily, because it's really against the DNA from a neutrality standpoint. But time will tell if the market demands we're going there, because they demand that safety. But as AMS-IX, we don't think it's the right way to go.
Thank you.